All right, what is up, guys? So we're going to be going through a full day of eating to lose the love handles without tanking your energy at work. I'm going to be breaking down literally how I was able to eat literally 4 meals a day, always feel full, always feel productive all day, and lose 8 pounds in the last month. All right, so if your love handles are stubborn and your energy always crashes around 2 p.m., right? You're sitting at your desk or you're at work and you just feel exhausted always around the afternoon, your full day of eating is probably built for fat storage, not fat loss. All right. So here's what a real sustainable day of eating looks like if you want your waist leaner and you want your brain actually focused at work. So, number one, training wise, you don't lose the love handles from doing ab exercises. You lose them by staying in a small calorie deficit, eating enough protein to build muscle, and structuring your meals so you don't binge or crash during the workday. So, meal number one is a high protein breakfast. All right. We need to start the day off full and focused, and we don't want to be starving either by 10 a.m. So, here are some options. Number one, we have an egg white and a whole egg scramble with veggies. This is my current go to, and this is the breakfast I literally ate every day to lose 8 pounds in the last 35 days. All right. I usually had 6 eggs, 100 grams of egg whites, and then cook with like 5 grams of butter, a bit of ketchup, and then sometimes I had veggies on the side, or I just did not at all. Another option is a Greek yogurt bowl with berries. How you want to do this is have, a cup of Greek yogurt, a scoop of your favorite protein powder, and then some, fruit on top, and then you can add some peanut butter, mix that up. That would be a banger. Another one is, a protein shake with some fruit. The protein shake is good, but it's not super, super filling, which is why we want to add fruit on the side. I wouldn't actually blend that up just because that whole fruit is going to be more filling. These structured meals work because protein early in the day, all right, keeps you full, and it's going to reduce mindless snacking, like when you just eat some random popcorn, some random chips later in the day. All right, that reduces that. And this is what keeps you from hitting like that, someone brings in donuts, someone brings in cookies. Like, it avoids you from those temptations because you're already full. If you do skip breakfast though, and then you eat a bunch of snacks at 11 a.m., like that's not discipline, like that's just poor planning. So make sure you get a high protein breakfast in to start off the day on a high note. Next we have meal two, which is a simple high protein lunch. All right. You want to stay full, but you don't want to feel super lethargic from this. You don't want to get a food coma. You just want to get your protein in, keep it kind of light, and then just stay focused at work. So we've got some simple ones. You can have chicken, rice, and veggies. This is the absolute classic. And this can actually taste really good if you cook it right. All right. Another one is a lean beef bowl with potatoes and greens. This is a really, really good one. Whether that is like you cook some extra lean ground beef and then you air fry some potatoes, and then you can either cook some greens or just use mixed vegetables that's frozen, because that keeps it really, really simple. That would be a great meal as well. So I'd have 200 grams of a meat. Same with this, 200 grams of a cooked meat, and then maybe 200 to 150 grams of the carb, and then 200 grams of the vegetable. And then you can use some sauce, ketchup, barbecue sauce, soy sauce. Try to keep it lower calorie. The lower calorie you can use for sauces, the better. Hot sauce is good because it literally is 0 calories and it adds a lot of flavor. But since it's literally like a liquid calorie, it doesn't really fill you up. So if you can make it 0 calorie, that'd be good. Or even sugar-free ketchup, sugar-free sauce, that would be the way to go. So your lunch should make you satisfied, not make you feel super, super tired, which is why we don't go too crazy on the carbs, just because we all know, like, after we eat a bunch of carbs, sometimes we do feel a bit more tired. So that's where we have chicken, or we have like a good protein to actually make us not feel super, super tired. All right. If you feel like napping at your desk, your food portions or food choices are way off. So you either eat way too much, whether that is even if you eat way too much protein, you might feel full after and might want to doze off, or your food choices are off where you just eat like crappy carbs and it makes you want to go to sleep. All right. Another thing you want to avoid is just heavy sauces and ultra fatty meals. So, a really, really, really fatty piece of meat, or, really fatty, like, source, like a bunch of trail mix. Like, this is going to kill your productivity. Then we have the snack. All right, so before dinner, I want you to have a snack. This is going to prevent the 3 to 5 p.m. crash. So here's some quick options, and mainly it should just be to help you get your energy up and help you be also get your protein in. So we could have a protein bar. You could have a little cup of Greek yogurt. You could have some cottage cheese or some fruit, or you could have some beef jerky and an apple. These are all really good because, number one, they're high protein, or they are very filling. So you're not going to want to, crave other stuff. All right. You don't have to cut out snacking, but just replace those snacks with actually good options. All right. This matters because most people don't lack willpower. All right. But they're just underfed and they're tired. So that's why throwing in a high protein snack that will actually fuel you up and fill you up is going to actually help with that. All right. It's way better than getting a snack that's just some BS, like a pastry or like a croissant. That's not going to fill you up, but it's just full of empty calories. Lastly, we've got a high volume dinner. All right. We want to end the day full and satisfied so we don't late night snack. All right. So here are some options. Again, get a big source of lean protein, like a lot of chicken, a lot of beef, a lot of salmon, a lot of tuna. Then a big serving of veggies as well. So that could be whatever veggies you'd like, whether that's like a bunch of broccoli, asparagus. I don't know if pumpkin counts, but that's a good one too. And then a big serving, or like a medium, not large serving of rice or potatoes. Potatoes are great because they are the most satiating food out there. Boiled potatoes are number one on the satiety index, and then something like croissants are like last. So basically, if you eat potatoes, you're gonna feel way more full. Versus if you eat a croissant, you're not gonna feel that full. So that's why potatoes are so good. But yeah, another one is like sweet potato is another great one. Pumpkin's another great one, so I recommend those. Or you could have a stir fry with lots of vegetables and measure out your oil, like weigh out like 1 tablespoon of oil. All right, don't just like randomly drizzle it because that can add up to hundreds of calories. So literally, you get a bunch of fry up some meat, a bunch of vegetables, and then a bit of oil. That can taste really, really good. Or you could have type of like a bowl style meal, like make your own Chipotle bowl, make your own type of Panda Express high protein meal. You could do this in so many different ways just by combining a different meat with a different carb source with like a bunch of veggies and just cooking it in a different way. So you could do like Chipotle style, you could do like Asian style. There's so many ways to go from here. All right. Dinner is where most people blow their calories. All right. Like they go home from work and they're super exhausted and they say screw it and they just eat either whatever's in the house or they order food in, and it's never high protein. It's always high calorie and low protein. And it's not going to get you anywhere. For dinner, if you want to lose body fat, you want volume and you want protein, not just fats and sauces. All right. So that's why getting like ordering food out often is not good. All right. And if you go to bed still hungry, you're going to set yourself up to fail tomorrow because you're going to wake up probably just or more hungry than you went to sleep with. And that obviously is not ideal. You want to be satiated, not stuffed to the brim, but you do want to be actually, it's like somewhat full. And then optional, you can also plan a treat. So this literally means saving, say, 200 to 300 calories for the end of your day for a snack. That snack can be whatever you want. All right, this is where that flexibility comes in. For one, if you are still hungry after you eat your dinner, I would recommend that your snack be a more healthy food because that will actually fill you up. Say apple, like Greek, another Greek yogurt bowl with protein powder. That could actually taste really good. Popcorn actually is a good one if you get like the lower calorie popcorn or just pop it yourself and add your own seasonings. That could be a really solid one. But if you are, fully satisfied after dinner, then you could have, a piece of chocolate, ice cream, whatever it fits. But just make sure to track this and weigh it out. Otherwise, it could easily go over your calories and it could be the reason you don't drop any body fat. All right. But just do not do any unplanned snacking because that's how you just eat more and more and more. And that's how you just never stay on diet. That's how you never stay consistent. All right. So, lastly, I want to go into productivity rules that actually matter. All right. You want to eat on a loose schedule. If you wait too long to eat, your focus is going to drop. All right. And your food choices are going to get worse. So make sure you plan in your meals. Plan out when you're going to eat and what you're going to eat every single day and try to get on a good routine. I eat all my meals at 9, 2, 5, and then 7 right before I go to bed. And the reason I do that is because I'm working from like 5 to 9 in the morning. So I'm not eating. And then at 9, I have my breakfast, a bunch of eggs, and then I work out. I come home, eat my post-workout meal. A couple hours later, I eat my dinner, and then a couple hours later, I eat my last meal. So most of my calories are pushed towards the end because that's where I find myself the most hungry. So it's all about planning it in. It's all about strategy. Another thing is that hydration is a big one. All right, literally the biggest hack I can put you on is getting the Jacked Factory creatine. All right, creatine is like, I'm not going to go too much into it, but creatine is a great supplement that you can have. Get the flavored one. That's like Arctic White. All right, putting you guys on the best game right now. Have it with a full bottle of water and just drink it in the morning. First thing you would do, like after you wake up and weigh yourself. Literally, I did that today. It tastes so good. It even smells good right now, but like it will make you get a whole bottle of water in super, super fast. Like I cannot preach Jack Factory creatine enough. And if you want to have more strength in the gym, more focus, there's a lot of other benefits. Take your 5 grams of creatine every single day, and that's going to be helpful. Next up, make sure you have protein at every single meal. All right, that's obviously non-negotiable. If you're not getting a gram of protein per pound of body weight, you're not going to keep as much muscle as you could. So protein keeps hunger stable as well. Protein's the most filling, and it also prevents muscle loss. And lastly, at the end of the day, plan out tomorrow's meals. All right. Ideally, you eat the same stuff pretty much every day because that keeps it so easy, so simple. That's why I lost 8 pounds in the last 35 days. Yes, I did have like an off meal every here and there. It wasn't 100% the same, but most of the time, when I had nothing going on, it was just like a regular work week, no dinners, no dinner plans, no events. I was eating eggs, protein pancakes for lunch, so it was really good. And then chicken and like vegetables for dinner, and then more eggs at night. So it's pretty filling. So plan out your day every single day before you go to sleep. All right, plan out what you're going to eat, how to hit your protein goal, literally as close as you can. You don't lose the love handles by being perfect for 3 days a week and then falling off on the weekend. Okay, you need to be consistent all throughout the week. You lose your love handles and build muscle by repeating a boring, simple structure like this most days of the week. All right, fat loss is not about motivation. It's about having like a default system, like a regular routine that you can follow even when work is busy and discipline is low. And if you want my help implementing all of this into your super busy life, then just pick a time to chat in the link in the description, and then I'll reach out to see if I can help. Apart from that, peace.